You can't have ADHD, you're not even hyper. I have heard that my whole life. I was diagnosed at about 3 years old with combined type, which wasn't even a thing all the way back then in 1994. 31 years of data I have, 31, and I still get told that I don't look like I have ADHD. Because most people think ADHD means one thing, a kid bouncing off the walls, which I do quite often, by the way. There are actually 3 types of ADHD, and most adults, especially the ones who got missed for decades, have the one that nobody's looking for, which we'll come to later. But for now, let's look at type 1, hyperactive-impulsive. That's the one the world thinks ADHD is the only one available. The kid who can't sit still, I'm tapping my leg right now, so just a part of my combined, talks fast, interrupts, finishes your sentences, acts first, thinks after. I was this kid for a long time, 3 years old. I pulled an Aldi shelf down in the shop. Bear in mind, I climbed to the top of a 5-story shelf and ragged the whole thing down with wine on it and embarrassed my mum, which was wonderful. My mum took me to the GP that week. Wacky warehouse, every weekend. I used to go there with my granddad just to tire me out. Luckiest kid in the world, get to play in wacky warehouse every weekend. It's just to tire me out. This is the type that gets diagnosed as a kid because it's loud, it's everywhere. Teachers see it, parents see it, GPs see it. But here's the thing. A lot of hyperactive kids, they grow up and the hyperactivity goes inside. We hide it. The body calms down, but the brain, not so much. And then everyone assumes that you've grown out of it, and you haven't. It just moved. Type 2 is inattentive, the quiet one. The one that gets called lazy or dreamy or away with the fairies. No bouncing off the walls, no shouting out in class, at least not as much. Just quietly somewhere else. Zoned out mid-conversation, even during your own conversation when you're doing the speaking part. Reads the same page 4 times or maybe more and absorbs absolutely nothing. Loses everything. Keys, phone, wallet, purse, handbag, train of thought, where they're meant to be, when they're meant to be there. Starts tasks, never finishes them. Constantly late, not rude, just timelined. It looks like they're listening, but they're not. This is the type that gets diagnosed at 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Because in my comments, I see you all the time, all saying to me, I just got diagnosed at 50 plus. I cannot believe it. It's absolutely crazy. Lived your whole life not knowing how your personality is set up and why you do these things. Because nobody flagged it at school. There was nothing to flag. You weren't disruptive, you were just not there. This is especially true with women. Girls with inattentive ADHD don't get spotted because they're not causing problems. They're usually daydreaming at the back of the class, while a hyperactive lad at the front gets all the attention and all of the diagnosis. See this in my comments again every single day. Women in their 30s going, I just got diagnosed and my whole life makes sense now. That's the inattentive type and it's missed for decades. Type 3 is combined. That's where I live now. That's where I have been for a long time. That's the full deck, the whole suite. You've hit the jackpot. Diagnosed at 3 for the hyperactive bit. Re-diagnosed at about 11 when the school reflagged it. 31 years of both of this. As a kid, I was the chaos. Tasmanian devil is what my dad used to call me. I couldn't sit still. I pulled shelves down. I got taken to wacky warehouse every weekend just to tire me out. I was a nightmare. I fought with everyone. I ignored everything. I did what I felt like doing because I didn't understand what the hell I was supposed to be doing. As an adult, my body calmed down. Not all the way, but to a decent extent. But the brain didn't. Now I will zone out in meetings, miss what people say, can't start tasks, but also, well, I can't stop talking in case you couldn't notice. Make impulsive decisions, and my leg bouncing hasn't stopped since 1998, or probably even before. But combined means that you get both sets of this, the hyperactive ones and the inattentive ones sometimes at the same time. And, you know, that's explosive inside. It's chaos inside a calm looking bloke. Jess, my lovely fiance, she seems quite to be the combined type 2. Neither of us are sure because she hasn't been formally assessed for what type. But watching her, it's the same pattern. Hyper in some movements, completely zoned out in others. 2 combined brains in one house. Yeah, it's interesting, to say the least. So why does this matter? It's not just labels. If you've got the hyperactive type, you probably got diagnosed young. you got support, maybe medication, maybe not great support, but at least someone noticed and you had an understanding, right? If you've got the inattentive type, you probably got called lazy for the last 20 years, got told you weren't trying, got through school by, well, scraping past basically, and then the 30-somethings hit and you saw a TikTok and went, oh, that might be me. Those are completely different life experiences from the exact same condition. Women are diagnosed on average 5 years later than men, just on average. Mostly because inattentive type gets missed. Now, don't get me wrong, inattentive type does also sit with males. It's just way less happen. It happens way less of the time is what I'm trying to say. 1 in 4 adults with ADHD were diagnosed as children. The other 3 found out as adults. Most of those 3 are inattentive type. It does happen. Sometimes it's combined. If you're watching this and thinking, that sounds like me, or that sounds like my mate, or my fiance, or my whatever, it's not a coincidence. That's called pattern recognition. And if this sounds like you and you want to know what to do about it, I have made a video on exactly how to get diagnosed in the UK. Somewhere here, step by step, no waffle. Drop your type in the comments. Let me know what you are. I want to see the split. I want to understand. I want to learn. I want to educate. So let me know in the comments, what type are you?